I'm all right. Yeah.
Hey Jay, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Was it an attraction to Florida State to know what your dad had done here and
Yeah.
his legacy here, or was it something that concerned you at all? You know, just sometimes guys don't want to be in the shadow of their famous
Yeah.
father.
I feel like for me it was like I always loved Florida State. You know, I grew up around it, so obviously I was every game when I was little. So, you know, it's kind of been like a dream. You know, come play here. So in my opinion, why not continue that legacy that he had here? You know, obviously he was a great player, and you know now it's my time to fill out my path. You know, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Brendan?
My
Can you
dog.
walk us through when you found out you had the opportunity to play here, how that was presented to you, which coaches told you, just what that meant to you when you found out where you were, I guess?
Can you repeat?
So when you found out that you were offered to play here,
okay.
when did that occur?
So it was on Christmas Day. Coach Norvell called me, and then he told me that he wanted me to play for him, and I was like, of course, this is always where I wanted to be, you know, and just having the opportunity, you know, I was forever grateful for it. You know, now that I'm here, you know, it's just a blessing for real.
Go back to Iowa.
Where we at?
I've seen some people mention that you put on some size, maybe later in your high school career.
Yeah.
Kind of where are you at now? Where were you? And do you think that's been beneficial in terms of getting this opportunity?
I put on at the end of my senior year. I was about 170, and then I graduated high school. I finished all my high school classes, but I didn't enroll anywhere. So I just kind of went with my dad and trained throughout probably April, and I got to 183, and then ever since I've been here, I got to 188. So I put on some size, and I feel the most important part about putting on size is being able to move. Because if I can't move with that size, there's no point in putting it on. So just being able to move with it has been my biggest thing, and I feel pretty comfortable with it. So just gaining it naturally and make sure I feel good with the weight is probably what's more important to me. And I trust our nutrition staff, Miss Jaden, with everything. So I know they're putting on the weight right. So just trusting them and then seeing how I feel.
Peter here in the second row.
What's up, Tonio?
What's up?
Is there going into the 3-3-5 scheme, is there a position that you see yourself playing? Are you going to focus on playing corner, or are you going to look at another position in secondary?
I feel I could play anywhere in our secondary. I feel that's the case for all of our guys in the room. But, you know, just playing 3-5 gives us so many chances to just be us, be ball players. I feel especially at safety, it just gives us opportunity to play free, you know, and make our opportunity to make plays. So that's probably what I'm most excited for at either position.
Brendan? You were high school teammates with Jamar, or not, right?
Yeah.
What can you say about him? We got to see him a little bit in the spring, just personality-wise, the playing style. What stands out about Jamar?
He's a ball player. You know, that's my guy. I know since I was 9 years old. So he's been my dog since day one. So, you know, just having an opportunity to play with him like I did last year, you know, it's a great feeling because I'm going to get him right, and then he's going to get me right whenever chance comes. He actually just texted me and asked me if I wanted to go watch film. So just having that, you know, and having that relationship here, you know, just makes the transition a lot easier, in my opinion.
I was actually going to ask you about him too, and you know, he when we talked to him, I think it was after you signed, he was kind of hyping you up.
Yeah.
Not many high school teams have one guy that goes to Florida State, but to have two in the same secondary. What was that like? And just, I know you guys are a really good team, but what was that like playing with another guy and some of the guys you had in that defense? That
defense was definitely special. You know, just being in that secondary with a bunch of those guys, and to me, the biggest part was nobody had an ego. Nobody thought they were bigger than the other. You know, we all just came together and got to work. And you know, I feel that's the biggest part with me and Duty. We get to work, and, make plays on the field. So that's just how it went.
Obviously, you were waiting for this offer for such a long time, and for it to finally kind of come real for you. I mean, can you kind of talk about your mindset right now? Is it a sense of relief, or is it you want to prove to everybody that you do belong and that you're capable of being an impact player here at some point in your career?
Nah, no relief. I came here for a reason. I came here to make plays on the field. You know what I mean? And so, whenever I get my opportunity, I'm gonna make the plays that I can. So, right now, just put my head down, work, learn from the older guys. Learn the defense, learn the college speed of the game. And so I feel like I've been adjusting pretty well to that. And so, just whenever my time comes, I start making plays. And, but for right now, just put my head down and working. That's pretty much.
Not only, was your dad a great player, but he also has done plenty of coaching. And
Yep.
What is he like as a dad in terms of, is he, every time you play, is he breaking down your film? Is he giving you advice? Or does he let you do your own thing? How does he handle that?
He kind of just lets me go, kind of. That's kind of like how me and my siblings, like how he's kind of approached us. He kind of just lets us go. He's not like shadowing like our every move. Like when I was out there, I wasn't just with him training. So I feel like he like does a good job of like being like coach and then like dad, like if that makes sense. And like I love him to death, and he's always like giving me pointers, giving me like stuff like I can do better when he like gets a chance to, and just like get me better as a player, and then that's pretty much it.
What's sort of like the competitive level, the competitive energy been at these player-run practices, or can you maybe talk about some of the receivers or DBs you're seeing out there making plays that are impressive?
Yeah, definitely. My boy Javen Boggs, he's been making plays on offense, and my dog Jeremiah. They're always out there making plays. We're always competing. We compete every day. It's kind of fun going out there. All the guys, Deuce, my dog Eli, Luane, just all them guys on offense, it just makes us better as a secondary. And, Shaheem out there, Edwin, Braille, we got a bunch of dogs out here. So when you have a bunch of dogs out there making plays against each other, it turns into a fun little practice. So.
Antonio, being that you're a legacy player, or how people will view you as a legacy player, how much do you really embrace that, or how do you approach it when people label you as a legacy player and want to live up to the expectation that your dad, being that what your dad was, and want to continue to live on to that?
I embrace it wholeheartedly. I kind of love being a legacy kid. And I kind of try to get more legacy kids here because I feel like it's a great opportunity to like continue that. You know what I mean? I feel like that's my biggest thing is continuing that legacy of greatness. And to be on that path of being a great DB or greater DB than he was. He always tells me he wants me to be better than he ever was. And so that's like my goal to strive greater than he ever was. So that's it.
You mentioned Jeremiah. I'm not sure if you heard his interview. A ton of energy right before you were here.
Yeah.
Is that always kind of the case with him? Does he play like that, practice like that too?
Yeah, he's high energy every day. He reminds me a little like Coach Norvell. Like he's high energy every day. It doesn't change either. Like I call him a pro because that's what he does. He's a pro in everything he does. And he calls me a pro because he sees a little bit of himself like in me. So, just having that relationship with him, having that older guy to like look up to, and, having that energy every day with him, just makes both of us better.
Perfect.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.